Hello, my name is Colleen from the Haverhill Public Library. Today I have a patriotic story and some facts to share with you about the United States of America. Then I hope you'll join me in singing along to some patriotic songs. Singing is a wonderful way to practice literacy skills, to learn a new language, and to trigger memories. Singing is fun for all ages and allows us to share in a communal spirit no matter where we are. And now some patriotic facts. The first fact is about the 4th of July. The 4th of July celebrates the adoption of the Declaration of Independence by the Continental Congress on July 4th, 1776. This historic document meant that the American colonies were declaring independence from Great Britain. Interestingly, except for John Hancock, July 4th is not when the Declaration of Independence was signed. Congress didn't sign until August 2nd, and even then, it was only the members of Congress that were there on that day. There were some folks that weren't there that day and signed at an even later date. My second fact to share is about Juneteenth. This year, Juneteenth became a national holiday, celebrated on June 19th. It has also been called Jubilee Day, Freedom Day, Liberation Day, and Emancipation Day. During the Civil War, President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863 and freed over 3 million enslaved black people from the Confederate States. However, slavery continued in Texas for 2 more years. It wasn't until June 19th in 1865 that Union soldiers reached Galveston, Texas, and spread the news that slavery had been abolished. So the date of June and 19th combines to make the name of the holiday, Juneteenth. My third fact to share is about the national bird of the United States of America, which is the American bald eagle. And you can trace the historical significance of the bald eagle as a patriotic symbol back to 1782. That was when the national seal was being designed by committees. One member of one of these committees was named William Barton, and William Barton decided to include a white eagle on his mock-up of the seal. This was a traditional symbol of strength. Then, the current Secretary of Congress, Charles Thompson, decided to swap the white eagle for the American bald eagle. At that time, there would have been hundreds of thousands of American bald eagles. However, overhunting as well as the use of pesticides such as DDT led to their numbers dwindling, and they were put on the endangered species list. In 1940, there was the Bald Eagle Protection Act, which meant that it was illegal to hunt bald eagles, and in 1972, the use of the pesticide DDT was banned. So starting in 2007, the bald eagle was taken off of the endangered species list. Check out our e-resources, including Encyclopedia Britannica, to learn more. There'll be a link in the description box down below. Now I have a story to share with you called Blue Sky, White Stars. This was written by Sarvinder Naberhouse and illustrated by Kadir Nelson. And I'm going to start by reading the author note and the illustrator note from the back of the book. A note from the author. This story was written as a parallel between America and its flag. The same words describe both. I began this book thinking of the deep blue sky dotted with white stars that early immigrants to this country saw as they boarded ships headed toward religious freedom in the New World. In the early 1920s, my great-grandfather, Butta Singh Bal, boarded a ship to come to America, but at the last minute changed his mind. My dad wished he had stayed on the boat and embarked on the journey. It was my dad's dream to come to America, which he achieved through a veterinary medicine scholarship. In 1965, when I was nearly 4 years old, my family left Punjab, India, and traveled over 7,000 miles to join my father. Thus began my lifelong journey assimilating into the culture that fostered the American dream, eventually becoming a citizen in 1996. Like my dad, I followed my dreams, which led me to this story, where blue sky is filled with white stars. there's also a note from the illustrator, which is Kadir Nelson. I am very proud to have created this series of paintings illustrating Sarvinder Naberhaus's poetic celebration of the American flag. I was immediately struck by the author's sparse yet rousing text, its simplicity and power, its beautifully drawn parallels between the American landscape and the diversity of its people, and the symbolism stitched into the fabric. It is the American ideals that have continued to echo in our hearts and minds throughout our tumultuous history. With each painting, I was inspired to remind readers of the resilience of American principles, and that as we continue to push forward, our strength lies in our willingness to embrace our differences. I hope this work will always remind us that our ever-evolving country was forged by and for people from all walks of life and every background, and that our future as a nation hinges on Abraham Lincoln's enduring admonition that a house divided cannot stand. The American flag is a shining symbol that calls us to remember that we have the potential to uphold the promise of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness together, only together. And now the story. Blue sky, white stars. So it's the same text repeated twice, once to describe the American people and once to describe the American flag. And sometimes there's some sneaky little changes where just a few letters mean that you'll pronounce the word the same, but there's a slightly different meaning. So keep an eye out. Blue sky, white stars. Blue sky, white stars. Red rose, red rose. White rose. And here, I'm going to bring the photo close. There are rows of caravans. White rose, white rose. Red, white, and blue. Old glory, old glory. Sea waves, sea waves. And there we have one of those tricky spelling changes, SEA for the ocean waves of the sea, and seeing the waves rippling on the flag. So together, one nation. So together, one nation. And here we have the sewing of Betsy Ross, sewing together, and the winning of a nation. And the exclamation that we can be so together as one nation, all American people. Well worn, well worn. Woven together, woven together. All American, all American. And you can see the detail of these sports fans listening on the radio. And he has a World War II veteran hat, and they're eating Cracker Jacks with a flag behind them. Stand proud, stand proud. Rising up, rising up. Fly high, fly high. Freedom, red, white, blue sky, white stars, forever. The end. And that was the story of Blue Sky, White Stars by Sarvinder Neighborhouse and illustrated by Kadir Nelson. So now we have reached our sing-along portion of the program, and these songs that I'm going to share and many other seasonal patriotic tunes are available for streaming on Freegal. I put the link for Freegal in the description box below. You can sign in using your library card number and your 4-digit PIN. Then you can stream music and even download 5 free songs a week. So the first patriotic song is Yankee Doodle Dandy, which was originally created by Britons as a insulting song against American colonists, and then it was adopted as our own patriotic tune. And this is how it goes. Yankee Doodle went to town a-riding on a pony, stuck a feather in his cap and called it macaroni. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle Dandy, mind the music and the step and with the girls be handy. Father, I went down to camp along with Captain Gooding. There were all the men and boys as thick as hasty pudding. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle Dandy, mind the music and the step and with the girls be handy. And there was Captain Washington upon a strapping stallion, giving orders to his men, I guess there were 1,000,000. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle Dandy, mind the music and the step and with the girls be handy. Yankee Doodle is a tune that comes in mighty handy. The enemy all runs away at Yankee Doodle Dandy. And that is the wonderfully silly tune, Yankee Doodle Dandy. Now this second song is This Land Is Your Land by Woody Guthrie. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I went walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway, saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. I roamed and rambled, and I followed my footsteps to the sparkling sands of her diamond deserts. All around me a voice was sounding. This land was made for you and me. When the sun comes shining, then I was strolling, and the wheat fields waving, and the dust clouds rolling. The voice was chanting as the fog was lifting. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, and this land is my land, from California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. And that was This Land Is Your Land by Woody Guthrie. Thank you for joining me for this patriotic seasonal sing-along. Have a good one. Bye.